You're listening to Quiet Horizons, a podcast of original science fiction stories written for the hours when the day is done. From here, there are no interruptions, just one complete story, beginning to end. Literary, unhurried, and best experienced with your eyes closed. Tonight's story begins now.
Quiet Horizons. Episode 9. The Counting Signal. Dr. Priya Anand is 43 years old and has been working the night shift at the Kamioka Neutrino Detection Underground Observatory for 6 years. She chose nights deliberately. The day team is loud, collegial, full of the specific energy of people who believe they are about to discover something. Priya no longer believes she is about to discover something. She believes in maintaining the equipment, checking the calibration, and filing accurate reports. She believes in the long patience of science. Underground, the distinction between day and night is philosophical. The rock above her is 2 kilometers deep, 2,000 meters of mountain that do not care what the sun is doing. The temperature is a constant 10 degrees Celsius. The noise is the noise of pumps and cooling systems, the occasional distant creak of settling stone. She keeps her workspace clean. She drinks green tea from a thermos her daughter decorated with stickers when she was 7. Her daughter is 22 now and studying architecture in Osaka. They text on Tuesdays. The facility is essentially a cylinder of ultra-pure water, 50 meters across and 40 meters tall, ringed with 11,000 photomultiplier tubes, glass spheres the size of bowling balls, each one watching for the faint flash of blue light that means a neutrino has passed through and, briefly, rarely, struck something. Neutrinos pass through the Earth in the hundreds of billions every second. Almost none of them interact with anything. That is what makes them useful. They carry information from places light cannot reach. From inside stars, from the cores of supernovae, from the very early universe. Priya monitors the data. She looks for anomalies. She almost never finds one. At 2:47 in the morning on a Tuesday in March, she finds one. She almost misses it. She is reading a paper on her secondary monitor about deep-core ice stratigraphy in Greenland, something completely unrelated to her work that she has been slowly working through for 3 weeks. The anomaly flag is a sound, a soft chime that she has heard twice in 6 years, both times for equipment malfunctions. She closes the paper. She pulls up the event log. The flag is for a repeating pattern in the background noise. The monitoring system has a subroutine that watches for statistical regularities, the kind that might indicate a calibration problem or a resonance artifact. It is not designed to find signals. It is designed to find instrument failures masquerading as signals. It flags both. She reads the pattern, she reads it again. The baseline neutrino flux produces what looks like random noise. Random because the universe is genuinely random at that scale, events arriving without pattern, without preference. What she is looking at is not random. It is a series of intervals. The intervals are not equal. They are not a simple progression. She pulls the raw timestamp data and works through it by hand, the way she learned to do before software could do it for her. Interval 1, 1, interval 2, 2, interval 3, 3, interval 4, 4. She stops. She stares at the screen. She picks up her thermos and realizes it is empty. She sets it down. Interval 5, 5. Interval 6, 6. Interval 7, 7. Interval 8, 8. Interval 9, 9. Interval 10, 10. Interval 11, 11. Interval 12, 12. Then it resets. Starts again at 1. She checks the system clock. It is 3:04 in the morning. The signal has been present at a level just below the automatic flag threshold for 2 hours and 17 minutes. The monitoring subroutine only flagged it when the pattern accumulated enough statistical weight. She pulls up the calibration logs. The photomultiplier tubes were tested at 6 in the evening the day before. All 11,000 are within normal operating parameters. She checks the pumps, the cooling, the seismic sensors. There is no machinery anywhere in the facility that runs on a 12-unit cycle at this frequency. She checks for surface sources, radio interference, electrical coupling, anything. The facility's shielding is designed specifically to exclude these. The background cosmic ray rate is normal. The atmospheric neutrino contribution is within expected variance. She sits with this for a long time. She knows what she is not thinking, because she is actively choosing not to think it. She is 43 years old. She has spent 20 years in particle physics. She has colleagues who have spent careers hunting for artifacts, claiming discovery, suffering the quiet devastation of disproof. She is not going to be that person. She is going to be systematic. She begins writing a checklist in her notebook. She still uses a paper notebook. Her handwriting is small and precise. The checklist has 14 items. She works through them in order. It takes until 4:30 in the morning. 13 of the 14 items are eliminated. The last one is simply labeled Other. She reads the pattern again. 1 through 12. Pause. 1 through 12. Pause. The base is 12. She writes this down. Most arbitrary counting systems use base 10. It maps to human fingers. Base 12 maps to the segments of those fingers to the joints counted by a thumb moving across them. It has appeared in Babylonian mathematics, in musical theory, in clock faces. It is not the obvious choice. It is a considered choice. It is a choice that someone made, or something made, for a reason. She writes, the signal is using base 12. Then she writes, I do not know what the signal is. Then she crosses that out and writes, the signal requires further characterization. She is aware that her hands are very steady. She expected them to shake. She is not sure what this means about her. She has read accounts of people who, in moments of extreme discovery or crisis, became unnaturally calm, as though the nervous system, confronted with something truly outside its experience, simply decides to proceed as normal. She is not shaking, she is sitting very still, and the 2 kilometers of rock above her feel different than they did an hour ago. Not heavier exactly, more present. The signal continues, 1 through 12. Pause, 1 through 12. Pause. She thinks about her daughter in Osaka, studying architecture because she wants to build things that last. Priya has a memory from years ago, her daughter at 7 or 8, asking why the universe was so big. She gave the standard answer, distances are a consequence of physics, of how fast light moves, of how long the universe has existed and expanded. Her daughter said, but who decided that? Priya said, no one decided, that is how it works. Her daughter said, but doesn't it seem like a lot, for something no one decided? Priya did not have an answer for that. She still does not. It is 5:12 in the morning. The day team arrives at 7. She has 1 hour and 48 minutes. She thinks about what she will write in the shift report. The shift report is a practical document. It covers equipment status, event counts, anomalies, and actions taken. She has never written one that mattered. She has always filed them carefully regardless. She thinks about the sequence of events that will follow. The day team lead will read it, flag it, bring in the analysis team, loop in the international collaboration partners. She thinks about the months of verification that will follow. She thinks about the possibility that it will not survive verification, that there is an explanation she has not thought of, that 14 items was not enough. She adds 4 more items to her checklist. She works through them. 3 are eliminated. 1 is not conclusively eliminated, but it requires specialized equipment she does not have access to at 5 in the morning, 2 kilometers underground. She writes it down, unable to eliminate interference source class Delta 7 without spectrum analysis unavailable on-site. Then she documents the other 13 eliminated items and her methodology for each of them, in full. She is very thorough. She has always been very thorough. The signal continues. At 5:58, she begins writing the shift report. She writes it the way she writes all her shift reports, clearly in order, without editorializing. She describes the anomaly flag and the time. She describes the pattern. She describes her checklist and its results. She appends the raw data files. She notes the one non-eliminated interference source. She writes her recommendation, immediate convening of the anomaly characterization team and continuation of monitoring at maximum resolution. She does not write, I think something is counting. She does not write, I sat in this room at 3 in the morning with 2 kilometers of mountain above me, and I heard, in a way that is not quite hearing, something moving through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and beginning again. She does not write, I thought about my daughter. She saves the report. She attaches everything. She sends it to the day team lead with the anomaly flag set to maximum priority, which she has never done before. She has 11 minutes before the day team arrives. She makes a fresh thermos of tea, which she will not drink because she will not be here. She puts her notebook in her bag. She tidies her workspace. She puts on her coat. The signal is still going when she leaves. She rides the elevator up through the 2 kilometers of rock. It takes 4 minutes. She emerges into the facility entrance where the fluorescent lights are slightly too bright in the way they always are after a long night underground. She sits on the bench by the door and puts on her boots. She thinks, if it is real, someone else will verify it. That is how this works. The point of verification is that no single person's experience of data is sufficient. Her night in that room, the checklist, the steadiness of her hands, the specific quality of the silence between intervals, will be reduced to a time-stamped file. This is correct. This is how it should work. The universe does not issue discoveries to individuals. It issues them to methods. She steps outside. It is March and cold, and the mountains are white at the top. The sky is the particular deep blue that exists just before the sun fully clears the ridge. She stands there for a moment with her bag over one shoulder, not doing anything specific. She thinks about base 12. She thinks, somewhere or sometime, or at some scale she does not yet have the mathematics for, something counted, 1 through 12, and whatever was counting chose to organize the count in 12s, which is itself a kind of statement. 12s divide evenly into halves, thirds, quarters, sixths. 12s are about relationships. They are about things fitting together cleanly, without remainder. The choice of base 12 is not the choice of something that thinks randomly. It is the choice of something that has thought about division. The sun comes over the ridge. The light hits the snow on the upper peaks first, and then moves down the slope in a slow, broad wave, the way light always moves across mountains in the early morning, as though it is reading them line by line the way she reads data. She walks to her car. She puts her bag in the passenger seat. She sits for a moment with her hands resting in her lap, not on the wheel yet. Her phone buzzes. It is a text from her daughter, sent late the night before. Mom, I finished the bridge design. Come see it when you visit. It is small, but it fits together exactly right. Priya reads this 3 times. She starts the car. The road winds down through the forest below the facility, the early light coming sideways through the trees in long pale bars. She drives the way she does everything, carefully, attending to each curve as it arrives, not trying to see past the next one until she reaches it. Behind her, in the dark below the mountain, in the pure cold water surrounded by 10,000 watching lights, the signal continues. 1 through 12. A pause. Then again. Whatever it is patient. Whatever it has been counting for longer than she has been listening. Whatever it does not seem to be in a hurry. Neither is she. End of episode. Quiet Horizons is an original fiction podcast. New episodes whenever the night is long enough.
As we reach the end of tonight's journey, I hope these quiet horizons have brought you a deep sense of peace and calm. Let your body grow heavy, your breathing slow and steady, and your mind drift gently into rest. Good night, dear listener. Sleep well, and I'll see you again on the next horizon.